Today I'm going to be breaking down the 3 Moto base layers that I own, how they differ, and what my experience has actually been riding in them. One of my biggest problems with motorcycle gear is that I want to be protected, but I don't always want to look like I'm wearing motorcycle gear, and that's actually why I bought these in the first place. So these are protective motorcycle base layers from Moto, and they're designed to be worn underneath your normal clothes. So I have 2 bodysuits here, the Bia Black and the Shell WW Black 02. I also have a pair of their base layer pants, which are called the Skinny Wage AAA. And I've actually had the Shell 02 and the Skinny Wage AAA base layer pants for about 2 years now, so these aren't just products I picked up for this video. And I've been riding in them for a long time, like way before I ever had an affiliation with Moto. So today I'm going to be showing you the differences between them, how I actually wear them, and whether I think they're worth buying or not. Before we get into the review, just a really quick disclosure. Like I mentioned previously, I purchased all the gear that I'll be showcasing today myself before I ever had a relationship with the company. Since then, I have become affiliated with Moto, so if you use the link in the description or use my code MIKO10, I may earn a commission. But these are products I chose to spend my own money on, and that's actually the reason why I wanted to work with Moto in the first place. So let's get started. These are the Skinny UH AAA base layer pants, and they're probably the easiest product to understand because they basically look and feel like a pair of leggings, except they're actual protective motorcycle pants. And it's not just the armor that's protective. The entire garment is AAA rated, which is the highest level of protection you can get from certified motorcycle clothing. They're made using Moto's Ballistex material, which gives you abrasion resistance while still being extremely stretchy and low profile. But abrasion resistance is only one part of motorcycle protection. For impact protection, you get level 2 armor at the knees and level 2 armor at the hips. Once they're on, they basically fit like a thick pair of leggings. And it's important that they fit snug to your body because you actually want the armor to stay positioned over your knees and your hips. And the position of the knee armor can be adjusted, which is really useful because obviously everyone's legs aren't the same length. But this right here is the main reason I bought them. I could just put my normal pants over them, which is great for a few reasons. I don't have to find motorcycle pants that match the outfit that I want to wear that day. If I want to wear cargos, I can wear cargos. If I want to wear jeans, I can wear jeans. And unless I told you, you'd probably have no idea that I'm wearing AAA rated motorcycle pants underneath. I've received countless comments too, accusing me of not wearing gear, but little did they know I was and always am. For someone like me who actually cares about what I'm wearing when I ride, that's a huge advantage. Now let's talk about the upper body. This is the Shell WW Black 02, and it's the bodysuit I actually find myself wearing the most. It's a protective motorcycle bodysuit that's also designed to be worn underneath your normal clothes. The Shell is AA rated, so even though it looks and fits like a normal bodysuit, you're still getting the protective, certified motorcycle garment underneath your outfit. The Shell is also constructed of a single layer of Ballistex fabric, so it still provides abrasion resistance while still being stretchy and low profile just like the pants. And that's probably the biggest thing I noticed while wearing this one. It doesn't feel like a traditional motorcycle jacket when I put it on. It feels much closer to athletic clothing. Think like Lululemon, but with protection. For impact protection, you have SAS Tech Triple Flex Level 1 armor in the shoulders and the elbows. The armor is really thin and flexible, so once I have everything on, it doesn't feel bulky or restrict my movements. And this is where the Shell really works for me. Because everything is so low profile, it's very easy to layer underneath my normal clothes. And I cannot stress that enough, I keep repeating it because it's true. I could throw a hoodie over it, I could put a jacket over it, or I can basically build whatever outfit I want around it. I could throw a big t-shirt over it, or really anything. The possibilities are endless. So when I combine the Shell 02 and the Skinny UH AAA, I've got protective motorcycle gear covering my upper and my lower body, but I can still pretty much wear whatever I want over it. Now, if you like the idea of the Shell, but you want an even higher protection rating, this is where the Bia Black comes in. The biggest difference here is that the Bia steps up to a AAA rating, so you're getting a higher level of abrasion resistance while still keeping that bodysuit design. The Bia uses Ballistex throughout with extra layers in the higher risk areas. Across the chest and inner arms, you have this durable Cordura mesh, so you're still getting abrasion resistant material there, but with way more airflow to keep you cool while you're riding. For impact protection, you do have D30 Ghost Level 1 armor in the shoulders and Level 1 armor in the elbows. And same thing for the Bia, the armor here is thin and flexible. And there's also a pocket in the back where you can add an optional Level 2 back protector, which I highly recommend. And that's one of my favorite things about the D30 Ghost armor. Once everything's on, you don't have these massive pads sticking out of your shoulders making you look like a linebacker. But honestly, I do like the way the Bia fits by itself. It doesn't automatically scream motorcycle armor to me. But just like the Shell, the real benefit is when you start layering over it. Here's those same outfits that I wore over the Shell over the Bia. So both bodysuits accomplish that same goal of allowing me to wear normal clothes over my protective gear. But there are some pretty important differences between the two. So if you're looking at both of these online and trying to figure out which bodysuit you should get, Here's how I would compare them. The shell is AA rated, has that simple single layer ballistics construction, and comes with the thin SASTEC triple flex armor. The BS steps up to a AAA, has additional protection in those higher risk areas, those ventilated Cordura mesh sections across the chest and inner arms, and D3O Ghost Armor. Both are designed to fit close to the body and layer underneath normal clothing, but the BIA is noticeably thicker and feels more substantial when you're wearing it, while the shell feels lighter and more minimal. So if getting the highest garment protection rating is your priority, the BIA is the obvious choice between the two. It's AAA rated versus AA rated on the shell, and you get a ton more ventilation because of the Cordura mesh. But personally, I actually find myself reaching for the shell more often. Even though the BIA has the higher rating, I really like how minimal and lightweight the shell O2 feels, so I wouldn't necessarily say that one is better than the other. For me, the shell wins on how it layers, how it fits me personally, and how comfortable it is. But like I said, if your priority is maximizing the protection rating, that's where I'd go with the BIA. And obviously none of this matters if the gear is uncomfortable once you're actually on the bike. I've ridden these quite a bit, and one of the biggest advantages to having everything fit close to your body is that I don't have a bunch of loose material moving around while I'm getting into a riding position. The armor stays exactly where it's supposed to, and I still have plenty of mobility to move around on the bike. The one thing you do have to remember is you're adding an additional layer underneath your clothes, so what you do wear over matters, especially when it's hot. That's where something like the extra ventilation on the BIA can be really nice. But overall, I don't feel like I'm wearing a huge set of motorcycle gear underneath my clothes. And that's exactly what I wanted from these. There are a few things I would consider before buying these. The first is price. It's definitely an investment, especially if you're putting together a full setup, but personally, I think it's worth it. You're paying for certified motorcycle protection and actual impact armor in something that you can wear underneath your everyday clothing. Second is layering. For example, if your normal pants are already super tight, you're probably not going to be able to comfortably fit armored leggings underneath. I personally think the Skinny UH AAA base layer pants makes more sense underneath cargos, some relaxed jeans, or anything with a little extra room. And third is sizing. You want these to fit close to your body. The whole point is to keep the armor where it's supposed to be, so this isn't something you'd want fitting super loose. So definitely check Pando sizing chart. Overall, the reason I like these isn't because they're trying to replace every single piece of motorcycle gear out there. It's because they solve a very specific problem that I personally have. I wanted real motorcycle protection without having my protective gear dictate exactly what I had to wear every time I got on my bike. And that's why I originally spent my own money on Pando. So if you're someone who wants to wear normal clothes on your motorcycle, but you still want the actual protective certified layers underneath, this is where the Pando base layers make sense. If you guys want to check out any of the pieces I showcased today, I'll have the Skinny UH AAA base layer pants, the Shell WW02, and the BIA Black link below. And since I am affiliated with Pando, you can use my code MECO10 for 10% off of your purchase. As always, ride safe, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!